So with our carbohydrates, first question we're going to ask is, what are they? So we've got two pictures here. We've got a piece of bread and some sugar cubes. So our answer to what are they? We have simple sugars, things called monosaccharides and disaccharides. The sugar cubes on the front represent the simple sugars. And then we have complex starches called the polysaccharides. And that's represented by the bread on the front of this flap. We'll define monosaccharides, disaccharides, and polysaccharides a little bit later in our notes. Our second question, what are they made of? So the elements we're going to find include carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Later on, when we look at other pictures, we'll just see the abbreviations CH and O. Their monomer, also called their building block, will be the monosaccharide, or the simple sugar. Our next question, we're going to figure out how to identify them. One thing that you will have to do on your test is I'm going to give you a picture of one of our 4 final molecules that we'll be talking about, and you'll have to tell me which one it is. We're going to talk about carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, and nucleic acids. And if I I give you a picture of one, you're going to have to be able to identify them. So how do you identify them? So here we have pictures of some carbohydrates. We have glucose, a monosaccharide, sucrose, a disaccharide, and amylose, a polysaccharide. And I have highlighted the OSE. That's one of our first identifiers. Is that the name of our carbohydrates? Almost always, there are a few exceptions, but almost always is going to end in OSE. O-S-E. When we look at carbohydrates, the molecules all have a ring shape to them. All compact. So the monosaccharide 1 ring, disaccharide 2 rings, polysaccharide, this picture has 4. Poly means many, so it would have many rings. The molecules have a ring shape. The last section on this one, we're going to look at their function. What do they do? So one of the things, here we have glucose, here we have a carbohydrate. Glucose is going to help give the cell energy. Glucose or carbohydrates, they're the main source of energy for cells. When we looked at food labels on Friday, we saw that 1 gram of carbohydrate gave us 4 calories of energy. Carbohydrates are used for short-term energy storage. Energy is going to be stored during photosynthesis. The autotrophs are capturing the energy from sunlight. They're storing that energy in the carbohydrates they make. Energy is then released during cellular respiration, which is the picture you have on the front of this plaque. It's a picture of cellular respiration. In December, we're going to spend about 3 weeks talking about photosynthesis and cellular respiration in a lot more detail. Third function is in plants. They form the cell wall of plant cells. There's a polysaccharide called cellulose that helps to give plants their structure. Again, monosaccharides, single sugars, things like glucose, galactose, and fructose, all with the same chemical formula. If we look at our disaccharides, how many rings are in the picture of a disaccharide? Two. Two rings. They all have two rings. Are they all the same shape? Do they look identical to each other? Not quite. Some are different sizes, but if we look at like this one, one's going up, one's going down. Some of our carbons are in different places. Those are all three different disaccharides. Disaccharide means double sugar. We had two rings. The top picture on the front of this flap represented sucrose, which is table sugar, which is the plain old normal sugar that's used to make sweet tea or put in coffee, or if you ever make cookies with your parents. That's sucrose. Maltose. If you like to get malts at Whataburger, they've been sweetened with maltose sugar. Or if you like the Whoppers, the malted chocolate candy, those have maltose in them. And then lactose is the sugar that we find in milk. If you're lactose intolerant, your body can't digest the lactose. Lastly, we're going to look at some polysaccharides. On the front, we have three of them: starch, cellulose, and glycogen. There are many, many more. The prefix poly, anybody know what that means? Do you know what poly means? Poly means many. So even though there's only 6, or in this case, 8 rings, these usually have hundreds or thousands of rings. So our polysaccharides, it means that they have many sugars. And a little bit about our examples on the front. We have starches. These are stored in plants. So the plant makes a bunch of glucose. It doesn't need it all right away. It's going to bond those together to make starch, like we find in corn and potatoes. Animals have glycogen. It's stored in your liver, helps you to maintain blood sugar levels over the short term, over the few hours in between meals. Keeps you from starving, or keeps you from passing out. People who are diabetics, if their bodies have problems regulating their sugar, and if they don't maintain it, they could pass out due to a lack of sugar. Your liver, though, if you do not have diabetes and is functioning normally, keeps you from starving between breakfast and lunch, or lunch and dinner.
And what does?
The glycogen in your liver.
So you're technically feeding off your own body?
Well, your body stores it for that purpose. And then cellulose, we already mentioned earlier, but here it is again. Used in plants for structure and support. It makes their cell wall.
How long can the human body go without food and water?
Water, it's less time, about 3 days. Environmental factors, if it's really hot or really cold, or if you're running around a lot, impacts it. About 3 days. Food, you're looking at roughly a week. But that's eating no food. Again, it sort of depends on what you're doing. If you're moving around a lot, really hot, really cold, things like that can vary.